Okay, what's up everyone? We're here once more, but this time from the south of France. We back. Not in the Netherlands anymore. Gotta say, it was quite a hectic week last week. Even though on YouTube, of course, it was a little bit more calm with fewer updates. My week was definitely busy. But good to be back. Welcome everyone. Good to have you here. So in today's live stream, we're going to cover Elliott waves. And we're going to do so on the weekly, daily, and the 1 hour time frame. And then we're going to get into chatting and Q&A. We might have some time to check some alts. I mean, not much has changed from my morning analysis, like the previous update, which was, I think, 6 minutes or 7 minutes. So if you haven't checked it, I mean, you don't have to check it out because I'll be covering Elliott waves in this stream. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to cover in this stream as well, and then move into chatting Q&A. So yeah, happy to be back as well in the south of France again. But I had a great time in the Netherlands. Shortly, if you want to know a little bit of my schedule. By the way, let me stop the music here. I arrived last week Sunday, as many of you will know, and then family, is what's going on. And then Monday, I had to give a presentation. On Tuesday, I had the physio for my knee. Many of you will know with the marathon run recently. So I had the physio and another presentation. And Wednesday was business coach, or was it Tuesday business coach, Wednesday physio and the presentation. Thursday, I was at an event the whole day. It was a great idea to jump on his bike in winter. And he drove to his work, but once he drove onto the parking at his work, he fell because it was basically ice on the road. So he dropped his bike, wasn't sure if he was able to get home, so he left the bike. So he picked up his bike with 3 people, his brother, myself, and Tim, and yeah, I think the bike is fine again, right? So, I mean, it drives at least, so that's good. And then later that day, I was with friends and stuff as well. And then on Sunday, a birthday of a friend of ours. And then on Monday, 4 presentations on one day and a flight back to France. So lots of socializing, lots of stuff going on. But as you will know, there was also quite a lot of content. As I put the planning of that week in Discord as well as in the YouTube community section on my channel. So we definitely stuck to this plan. All the content that was planned was posted. So that was very, very good. So busy trip indeed. But it was enjoyable. Maybe a Band-Aid. Welcome. Matthias, what's up from Argentina? Good to have you here. JL Samith, what's up, man? How are you doing? Beautiful blue badge TP. Yeah, the MeBot posted the planned stream. So we're just checking bots. Like Jeroen is checking some other stuff to see if we can upgrade the bot posts in the content channel, because I planned the stream and it posted the stream the moment I planned it. But of course, nothing happened. So I actually don't want it to post, only when I go live. Mike D, welcome. Joef, my favorite stream, baby. What's up? Ben Positive. Goed uit Den Bosch. Yo, ik was in Den Bosch. I was actually in this city as my friend, my buddy on Saturday lives, or on Friday lives there. What's up, Bearbit? How you doing? White Rabbit Trading. Bitcoin almost cheap again. I mean, what is cheap? What is expensive, right? It's all perspective, I suppose. QZ World, Christian, Violet, Harut, Madatovian, good morning. Fredondo, filled my bags. Rahul, have a plan. Serega, AJ, what's up, AJ? Thanks for the support, man. Serega, what's up? Edgaras, Raul, Gwendizu, how are you, man? It's been a while. Usport, quite ugly move to the downside, but what do you think about a finished wave 5 here? We're going to cover our the move to the downside. I don't really probably go to the 15 minutes. I like to stick around on a 1 hour. We hit the support value area high here. And below we have 90k to like 89.4, bit of support as well. But Errol, what's up? Christian, Red Web Club, what's up? Milo, how you doing? What are the targets for this wave 4? We're actually inside the target area, but yeah, let's start covering Elliott waves, shall we? So I'm gonna remove this stuff from my chart here. Let's see, we should be good here. Go to the daily time frame. Weekly. I want to do the weekly as well, especially in live streams. For me, it is important to zoom out at the beginning of a live stream so everyone kind of knows where we're at. Right? Of course, the weekly doesn't change a lot, but still, you know. So okay, let's get this started. Giannis, what's up, yo? That's been a while. Good to have you here. I'm doing very well, thanks. I mean, trading has been great. Seeing friends and family last week. You know, the community is doing awesome. So, yeah, happy chap. How are you, man? Have you benefited from the move to the upside? And thank you, Raul Santella. Yeah, it's 12 minutes 41, pretty much 13. So let's start on the weekly time frame. Coinbase chart, this is the conservative bullish scenario, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The common target area for your wave 5 is on the chart, 81.3, 129k. Inside wave 5, we need another 5-wave impulsive structure, right? At the moment, locally on the Coinbase chart, price is moving up, volume is moving up as well. But what we're looking for is we're actually still looking for a wave 4 and a wave 5, at least probability-wise, that has the highest probability, right? We can kind of like count the potential of a double 1-2, but so far the highest volume is in this move, which means you're at least looking for 1-4 and 1-5. In other words, preferably still looking for all-time highs, higher prices, touching that 100k level, which we just missed out on. Now at the moment on this chart, we made a higher high on price, lower high on the volume. I do not look at Binance. I got that comment quite a lot. I'm not a fan of that chart from an Elliott waves point of view with the volume. Neither do I use index chart. For me, Coinbase is the most trusted chart with regards to volume, as well as the candle wicks, which is the reason I use this chart. But of course, everyone may have their own preferences. But only if on Coinbase we continue moving up and volume increases above this volume candle here, do we start to consider more bullish scenarios, or at least the probabilities can switch to more bullish scenarios, which is what we have here. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we get our big 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. So this is of course more bullish, and in this case, this would be your wave 3. So you preferably want your highest amount of volume to come in wave 3, which means at least taking out this, right? So you want price to move up, and volume move up as well. Right now, another alternative is that if price is just going to move up without any bigger ranges or retracements, which is kind of what we're working on now, but if price is continuously moving up and up without any interesting or bigger wave 4s potentially matching these 2s, then yeah, if we are at the top end of this target box for 5 and there's no significant ranges here, then yeah, we could also be looking for price to continue to the upside. So those are two things we keep in mind, but it's all probabilities, and at the moment conservative is better than being way too bullish. And it's also just, it's a safety. I sometimes say this, of course, but it's just a safety net as well with regards to trading, because every time we're in a bull market, people shout the craziest stupid targets, and then you find yourself not even close to getting to those targets. Now, maybe one day it will actually be true and you will actually hit those targets, but then you know, 3 times scheepsrecht, as we say in the Netherlands. Then, like over here, people were calling 200, 500k Bitcoin, move down to 30, 200, 500k Bitcoin, move down to 15. What do we get now? Again, right? 500K or 100K. Yeah, we're almost at 100K. So cool, right? But you got to be aware that, yeah, you might eventually reach 200 or 500K per Bitcoin, but it doesn't go in a straight line. And here you got I don't know what this was, like 50% retracement, right? Here you have a 70% retracement. It just doesn't make sense to look at these type of targets. Conservative is generally a better approach. And that is also what we look for here. Of course, with this local move to the upside. So yeah, we're looking for wave 5 first. And if we see signs of strength continuously based on volume and structure, we're going to look for higher prices. Now on the daily time frame, this translates into currently looking for wave 4s. So here you can see 1, 2, 1, 2, and then eventually continuation to the upside. Now a wave 4 of a higher degree likes to retrace to the wave 4 of a lower degree, which is this range over here. So this range is basically your area of support, right? So 93.5K, 86.6K, that is your wave 4 target. Now this move to the upside here, right, internally inside is wide wave 3, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is possible to count a finished structure here, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5. Your wave 4 is then about 2 to 3 times longer compared to your wave 2, I believe, out of my head. About 4 times longer, but not 6 times. So at least that's a good thing, I suppose. Maybe even 5 times longer. It's just, it is quite a difference between 2 and 4, but it's not 6. So yeah, it still fits the, I suppose, the time. But if you pull a base channel from the low here to this low to any of these highs, doesn't matter, you do break the base channel, which is generally not really preferred, right? So therefore, alternatively, instead of looking for wide 1, wide 2, 3, 4, and then wide 5 to finish blue 3, alternatively, you're looking for a finished wide count here. Now, as complex as this sounds, the target is the same. So you have your blue 3, preferably wave 4 of a higher degree, retraces to the wave 4 of a lower degree. So this is the reason why I did not count anything in like necessarily in detail here, because it's not really necessary. This is definitely an option. And if you would then pull a fib for the blue wave 4, you take it from the low of blue 2 to the high of your blue 4, and then your minimum target is 90.1K, which is in the middle of the blue box on my chart. And yeah, you are able to take the low of a wave 4 of a lower degree. You just preferably don't really break this whole trend and start moving in this area here, right? Like lower 80s. Wouldn't be too great. So that is what we're looking for on the daily time frame, right? That's also where the opportunity lies, because of course the title is Range is Opportunity. Now I always say that once price is moving quick, there is no real opportunity to enter, right? Like once price starts pumping and you get volume coming in, now depending on the time frame, you got to wait for a range to form. Right? And then the range will give you all the information you need to get a new position, right? The ranges is where the opportunities lie, where you can get good risk to reward ratios, a very clear stop loss, very nice targets, right? Very clear entries. If price is just pumping, you might find yourself entering at like a certain top, and then you have to deal with like a minus 10% retracement just to begin with, right? It's very difficult to know that if you enter in a pump, if that is actually the high, is it going to continue or not? Or, many questions. While once you have ranging structures, especially this one here was very nice, probabilities in this range, higher to move up, you have enough areas where you can put a clear stop loss with a nice potential risk reward ratio, right? So the ranges is where always the opportunities lie. You want to enter in the ranges and then of course ride the impulse, and then based on new information you can extend your position or exit or whatever your plan says. But now over here we are starting, right, a range, or we are pretty much already ranging, right? We have a move to the downside. So we're starting this range or entering this ranging structure, a bit of a retracement, which is nice because this gives us new opportunities from an Elliott wave point of view as the probabilities remain higher to continue moving towards the upside and following the trend, right? So yeah, very, very nice. Now, the bearish scenario is a finished 5-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? No overlap between 1 and 4. That's important because that is not allowed in an impulse. And then you have an extended 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave structure. Now, in this case, your wave 5 is extended and has the highest amount of volume as well in this impulse, as you can see. And that is rare because an extended 5 in Elliott waves is rare, and the highest amount of volume, which does fit an extended 5, but the highest volume in a 5 is not what we really want to see. So the most common impulsive structure is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Highest amount of volume is in your wave 3. Your extended wave is your wave 3. Most common. Rare for a wave 5 to be extended and has the highest amount of volume. So therefore, even though we have a very clear bearish scenario, meaning this is basically the end of the bull market, finished 5-wave structure, and you now look for a much bigger retracement, the probabilities are higher. You are looking for a wave 4 and still price to continue in a wave 5, moving into the 100K, 6 digits per biddy. On the 1 hour time frame, we are here looking for a zigzag. Potentially your 5 might be in here, right? That's like very just low time frame stuff. I'm on the 1 hour here. But in this case, what we're looking for is a 5-wave structure in A, 3-wave in B, and a 5-wave in C. So there you have your bigger range, which gives an opportunity, and then you look for price to continue to the upside. We have a couple of areas of support to the downside. We hit the value area high of the previous range that we were in. Point of control is at 89.5, value area low 87K, right? So we hit the value area high over here, which is very nice, a little bit of support, right? So I can't really call the invalidation the low of 1 anymore at 95.7K, just because there is at least the potential to label this 4, and maybe there's a 5 in here. Not sure about this move down. It looks a little bit 3-wavy, not 5-wavy, has to be said. Looks a bit 3-wavy, so it would probably be nicer if you actually extend your 4. Maybe create a flat. Come on. 3-wave A, 3-wave B, 5-wave C, then move down in A, hit support, then get your B, then your C, move into the 80s, 87, well, would be interesting, and then move up, creating A, B, C, continuation. So that is one scenario here that we keep in mind with this local move to the downside. I had a couple of questions about this range over here to the downside. I had a short look at it this morning. Of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Like, you know, what's going on here? Because this would be an expanding structure, and expanding diagonals are very rare, right? Never preferred unless everything else fails. And that's the thing. It's the failing part that makes you think about a expanding structure. Because if this is not an expanding diagonal, it has to be something corrective. We can't label this as an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because of the overlap here. We can't label it a multi 1, 2 because price moved up and took out this high. So the only option for the bears would be a diagonal, right? For bulls, you're going to label this as a corrective structure, right? So a zigzag family structure, A, B, C, or a W, X, Y, right? So a double zigzag. Now an ABC here would mean 5, 3, 5. But then we move back up, back down. Okay, right? I see you. We could then label WXY. But if this is a WXY can only be a wave A of a bigger correction. If you start with a WXY. Which means that this move up has to be a wave B of a flat but the minimum target of a flat is the 0.9 Fibonacci. And that is a fib we did not reach. Therefore, one cannot count this as a WXY because we didn't reach the 0.9. So therefore, a double zigzag is invalidated, a triple zigzag as well, by the way, because a triple zigzag is the same story. You would need to hit the 0.9, which we didn't. So it only leaves a zigzag as an opportunity, but the zigzag needs to be a 5, a 3, a 5. So somehow then here you need a 5-wave structure, right? So this needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if this one up candle here is your wave 4, all of this is your wave 2. It's a little bit like, it's a little bit odd, no? More common for wave 4 to be longer in an impulse than a wave 2. This is one candle. 2 is many candles. So not great, right? Not great. And that is the moment, right, when you really start considering expanding structures. And I checked, and it's true that your 3 is longer than your 1 and your 5 is longer than your 3. So there is that opportunity to therefore count it as an expanding structure. And that is what you roll with in this particular scenario, right? So do you see it very often? Absolutely not. Is it rare? Yes. But that is where the quote comes from. It's never preferred unless everything else fails. And pretty much everything else failed. Right? So there you go. That's the explanation on some of the questions that I received. And yeah, so therefore you then look for an impulse where you have a wave 4 and you have your wave 5. No. Okay, more, I call this bull, but this is also just a sideways ranging structure. In this case though, you label this as a wave A, move up is B, and then you have move down being a wave C. This scenario though does start to lower in probabilities, mainly because of this range and the fact we then took the low again. Because if this is a wave C, right, it would mean that you need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if this is a wave 4, then where is your clearly identifiable wave 2, right? On the lower time frames, you can see we did have, you have a small range here, you have a small range here, but this is quite big for 4. Right, if these are your 2s, let's pull a little fib time as we like to do. Right, your wave 4 is easily over 6 times longer than your wave 2s. So probabilities aren't great that this here is a wave 2 matching this wave 4. Now therefore there is 2 things, right, that I want you to think about. Number 1 is the bearish scenario, right, which is an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then finish wave A. Alternatively, we're looking for W, where this is A, B, and then your wave C turns into some sort of an ending diagonal, right? You would still need another low at least. But then you have 1, 2, right? You look for 3, 4, 5. An ending, a contracting diagonal. This is what you then label W, and then you get your X and your Y. Mind you, that in this case, a zigzag by itself, ABC, can also be a finished correction, right? And then you just continue to all-time highs. However, we are looking for a bit of a range in a wave 4, so it would be nicer to go sideways for a little bit, right? So as you can see, we are looking for price to find some support and then look for a bit of a bounce. Preferably in the WXY, you actually still look for lower, and in the bearish scenario, if we're looking for an impulse down in a wave A, it would actually be nice to also still look for a bit lower. So far, this looks like a 3 wave, not really a 5. So if we do move up, I'd be looking for a flat ABC and then still another 5. So yeah, and then look for a bounce. So that is currently what I keep an eye on. So On the weekly time frame, probabilities are higher that we are still looking for upside, right? Conservative wave 5 is the primary, with the alternative being a double 1-2. So we still look for higher, right? Ranges give opportunities. Retracements are absolutely normal. On the daily time frame, we're looking for a wave 4 and then a wave 5 to the upside. Right, so we get this retracement. Also remember, if you check out the previous live stream, which I very much recommend, price was moving to the upside here. And remember that we said we are looking to end wave 5, right? So we had our move to the upside, end of the correction, right? WX, remember, and then you had your triangle Y here. And then 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. We were looking for a 5 to end to start a bit of a retracement to the downside, right? Now we got this retracement to the downside, and this now switches on the daily. It makes us think about, okay, we're looking for another 4, but still at least another 5 to the upside, moving into all-time highs once again. And on the 1 hour time frame, we are just starting to look for a bounce and move into a B or an X. We hit at least some support. We have some more support below. And yeah, it would be nice to actually still create a lower 5 or for the diagonal for a W, create a bigger ending diagonal. But it starts to be more interesting now to look for signs of strength as well. A bit of a bounce, market structure changes, supported by bullish CVDs, volume coming in when price moves up, and that sort of stuff. As we had a nice move down, but it's interesting to look for signs of strength. So that's something that I keep my eyes open for. So yeah, that is that really. So yeah, there we go. Probabilities. Elliott wave analysis started. We started at 13. Yo, what's up, Adalol? Oh, wait. As I see, you have a green name. I think we weren't able, or Jeroen wasn't able to find your name in the YouTube membership list. So I'm not sure what happened there. But we'll get that sorted. I think you were gifted or silver. We'll check it after the stream. At least I recognize your name now. Pin. Sam, how you doing? Thanks. Yeah, good to be back. Good to be active. Yeah, silver. I see. Okay, Adalol, we'll get you sorted, man. 1 second. We weren't able to. So your YouTube name here is also Adalol. So it's interesting that we weren't able to find you, but we'll fix that after the stream. Good to see you here, though. Yeah, nice to be back. Tomorrow we chat, Sam. Another Sam here, future Elliott wave trader here. It's what I like to hear. Welcome into the Elliott wave rabbit hole. So it's I think Elliott waves is, I think it's one of the best tools you can have. It creates a directional bias, and then of course, if you do have additional tools, you can trade in the direction of your bias. It just really helps to create a narrative which significantly improves your trading. Now, with regards to alts, let me first have a quick look up here. Where were we? Where can wait for end? Answer the question. Some alts, of course. Yeah, so altcoin stream. Yeah, we didn't do one on Sunday because I wasn't there. So I might do probably a specific altcoin stream in the middle of this week. Maybe tomorrow, Thursday. Might just check out a few real quick here. It's nice that you're settled down, Jan. Is moving a house moving houses, starting university, settled a bit now, can finally enjoy the high quality content. Thanks for the compliment. Good to hear that you settled down and you can now focus on learning, trading, and of course also university. What study are you doing now, Yannis? TP looked to me like there was a finished diagonal while moving up. Price drop, made another push to 99.5. Is that move up part of the correction? This move up here, this one is part of the correction, but the move that created the high is not a structure at the moment that I really like to identify as a corrective structure. Also, you would then need to go into very low time frames. Makes more sense. This is a clear 3-waver, right? And then we have another move up. Preferably, you just label this 5, and this is the start of a correction. Also, if this is identified as a 5-wave diagonal, then the only way to have this as a corrective high would be a flat, right? So you need an A, B, and then a wave C to start with. But that would mean that your option would be W, X, Y. However, a sideways WXY, where W is a flat and Y is a zigzag, it's already in the name, it's a sideways structure, right? You want your correction to be WXY up. This is very deep for your Y. So it just makes more sense to start counting the corrective structure at the high that we have now. Diagonal in 5, or maybe here locally. Yeah. True Blaster. Can we retrace like 85K in this correction? Can we? The answer, well, 85 would be, 85 to, that would be low. 85 would be like a max, but going to 80 is definitely not something you would like to see. What would be the signal that B bounce has started if price moves up? Pretty much. So of course, as we are looking for price to bounce in a B or an X, the areas of support become interesting. We hit one area of support, and you also keep an eye on signs of strength, right? So you want to see whatever you want to see, right? So maybe you want to look for CVDs, RSI, volume, candlestick patterns in general. And then you can use that as additional confluence. But from an Elliott wave point of view, we are looking for a bit of a bounce. And it just helps if you have extra identified areas of support and then know what you're looking for after support is hit, right? So you create a bit of a plan with multiple tools, and then Elliott waves is one of the tools, which I suppose is also answering this question. But if you talk like purely about Elliott waves, like how do you trade Elliott waves? Right now, if you have an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the way, trading Elliott waves, please first study Elliott waves, because everything I'm going to say now is exactly the same for everything else, really. But if you're looking for an impulse up and you're in your wave 2, right? If the move down here is corrective, should be a 3-wave corrective structure. Again, if you don't really know what I'm saying, make sure to check out the link tree in the description. Go to Elliott Wave Education. Check out the website here, Full Guide Public Playlist, the book from Elliott Wave International, and then potentially the membership if you want. But your invalidation, right? If you want to focus on invalidations of an impulse, well, invalidation is the start of one, right? You're looking for wave 3. Now, this might also be A, B, C, depending on the context. So an important TP is generally around the 1 to the 1.236 trend-based extension, right? Fib extension. But that's the most simple example, right? So if you have a corrective structure, so for example, we are looking for a zigzag, which is a 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want to trade a zigzag structure, then you're aiming to long the end of your C. Now there's two options that you have. Either you try to aim for the low of your C, right? So you try to look for, okay, I'm waiting for a 5-wave structure in C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, clearly identified. And then I try to look for my low of my C, right? I'm trying to snipe it basically, right? So So that can be one. Now, this method, in my opinion, works best. Wait, two things. Let me repaint this, make it a bit more realistic. 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever, something like this, just so the fibs work. Now, with a wave C, your common target is between the 1.236. The 1.618 is also still a target. So in this case, this is your 3, 4, you have your 5. You don't really like to see a wave C move beyond the 1.618. So that would be a stop loss. And then after an ABC, you look for price to move up. Now it helps, right? So that's a trade. Now what does help is if you have identified support areas. So if you, on the chart, which are my target boxes, right? If you have identified additional areas of support, then you just wait for price to hit that area. And it can therefore decrease also your stop loss. So if, for example, right, I have a box here, I have support here, right? So if you have identified a level of support, let's make it a bit of a box. Then instead of having your stop loss all the way like below the 1.618, you could put it at the end of the box or just below the box. And your entry is on top of the box, right? Because that is your identified area of extra support. So you're minimizing your stop loss, right? But with good reason to increase your RR. You're not now minimizing your stop loss just to get a better RR randomly, right? You're not trying to snipe it with the smallest stop loss to get a 1x100, like 1 times 100 trade and that sort of stuff, right? You are making your stop loss smaller because you have identified a good area of support. So instead of longing in the common target area of a wave C here, 1 to the 1.236, and the 1.618 also still common, but most common 1 to the 1.236. Holy moly. Instead of longing here with a stop loss below the 1.618, you know that, well, I don't really have any area of support here, any additional support, right, identified, but I do have a box here. So it's then more interesting to be patient, wait for price to hit your area here. Now, that already decreases your stop loss, increases your risk-reward ratio. And then you can move your stop loss up as well because you know, well, if we lose this box, right, and your next area of support is down here, well, probabilities are high you're going to fill this area anyway, right? So it doesn't make really sense to have a stop loss all the way down here, right? So at the end, low of the box and then better RR. So yeah, I really think that if you use Elliott waves in combination with some other tools that you find useful, you can get the most out of it, right? But trading Elliott waves is actually all about knowing invalidations. Really, you kind of like trade invalidations, and recognizing a structure. No, if we are looking for the end of an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 is in, or 1, 2, 3. Bigger 4, 1 more 5. Well, in this case, we are looking to end an impulse, somewhere in this area, no? Like a bit of support here, a bit of support here. I'm not interested in longing anywhere here, to be honest, right? But I have 2 identified areas that I find interesting. And preferably, right, thinking about a wave 5, this is 3, preferably thinking about 5. I wouldn't really like to see price moving down here. And if it does, well, I still have an area here. So you see what I do, I suppose. Yeah, that is then how Elliott waves can be traded. But you have so many structures. This is a zigzag, that's an impulse. Those are the 2 that I covered. Same with WXYs, right? Like, and triangles. You got to know the structures, what to look for. And yeah, if you have a very big triangle, you know that all of the triangle structures should be zigzag family structures. And a zigzag is a 5-3-5. So you can keep an eye on a 5-wave impulse and try to snipe the move the other way, I suppose. So yeah, hopefully it answers the question. But it all starts, of course, with having Elliott wave knowledge. Yeah. Yes, that's true, Blaster. That's true. But a flat only is relevant if this is a confirmed three-wave structure down and then we move up. And then depending on the move up, we're going to think about a flat. At the moment, it's a bit too early. So a WXY would make more sense with then your alternative ABC flat. If price moves up too high, then the flat comes into probabilities. And that's very interesting. Like what you say, touch 100K, move up slightly, and then drop it in a wave C. Yeah. What is the usual target for a B or X in the current wave 4? Wave X would be the 382 minimum target and the 886 maximum. Officially, the maximum target, by the way, for X is the same as an expanding flat, right? So like the 1.38 would be like, a common target. It's just that the moment you take out this high at 99, you're going to be thinking flat and not WXY. Flat has a higher probability than a WXY at that moment. So for a wave X, you take a fib from the high to then wherever the low of your W is, and then 382 to the 886, very big target area. But you know that a wave X should be a three-wave structure. So if price is just doing this, it's not an X, right? So yeah, 94.6K would be your minimum target. 886 at 98.9 is your maximum target. And then, of course, your wave B, Cliff, your wave B common target is the 1.236 to the 1.38. How could a wave 4 locally look like? I covered this in the analysis on the 1 hour time frame. Unless you talk about the 15-minute, that would be a flat. On the higher time frame, at the moment, zigzag WXY with an alternative being a flat. Next altcoin stream, probably like tomorrow or Thursday, because I missed last Sunday. If you don't know Elliott waves yourself, Koen's going to confuse you with. I would deem that absolutely incorrect. So also with the morning update, if you don't know too much about Elliott waves, do not worry, because what we cover here is the highest probability scenarios, and a good Elliott wave analyst always needs at least one bullish and one bearish count per time frame if you cover a specific time frame. So yes, if you do not know Elliott waves and you are like, wow, this shit is very random, he has one bullish, one bearish count, but I always, of course, cover the probabilities of each scenario, because that's where the strength of an Elliott wave analyst comes into play. No? It's the probabilities. So identifying correct scenarios and then being able to identify the probabilities. If you are new or you don't understand Elliott waves, you will definitely be able to follow the analysis. Maybe not the details, but you'll be able to follow the conclusion. And by sticking around, you'll learn Elliott waves anyway. So maybe if you go to another channel, there might be 1,000 possible counts. But if you're here, it will be very simplistic. Of course, Elliott waves has a certain jargon, like certain terms. But the goal here is to also help people to understand Elliott waves. So if you're new, hopefully you're able to follow the analysis. Even though, again, it might be quite theoretical, the conclusion should be understandable. And that's the aim. Yeah. AD, welcome. Mohib, I'm doing good. Good to have you here, man. Wow, Mohib, like this guy is always here during the streams. I'm not sure whenever. I'm not even sure when you missed the last time you missed the stream. It's insane. The 15-minute, that would be a flat. If we're still in a wave 4, a flat would be what I would be looking for. Polar Bearman, how you doing, man? Welcome. Good to have you here again. Christian, I have a question. How many 4-5 do you think we still have? And if this 4 is going down to the lower level 4, is it possible that the next bigger level 4 is also coming down to this area? Yes. To answer the second question, yes, because a wave 4, so it's a guideline, it's not a rule, right? A wave 4 does not have to retrace to a lower degree 4, but it is common. Like it's a guideline. It's not a rule. And So that answer would be yes. If you then move up for a 5, then come back again for a 4, then yeah, you would be looking to now, then you have a new wave 4 price action, which is going to be your support basically. How many 4-5s do you think we still have? Depends on the 1-2. So currently I just start with a double 1-2 from 49k basically, or actually a little bit higher, I think 56. I can make it a quadruple 1-2 if I want to. But then again, conservative is better from a trader's perspective than being way too bullish. So in my case, I like to have a double 1-2, look for continuation to the upside. We're still looking for higher prices anyway. And then the moment we start creating another range, that range is going to be important to add another 1-2 at the beginning, or you basically end the market, right? So yeah, I can still see another 4-5 or multiple 4-5s, but it's not yet relevant. At the moment, we just look for price to still move up. The directional bias on the higher time frame is still up. And then as price moves up, we wait for a new range, and that new range is going to be very important. Koens is a good guy. Thanks, BVM. Declan, welcome. Declan, busy with orthopedist. Interesting study. It's the study of cracking bones. No? When will alts really start pumping? Generally, when Bitcoin starts ranging sideways. So Bitcoin is in a bull market. The moment Bitcoin drops and then eventually stabilizes, moving sideways, it gives alts an opportunity. Do you believe in wills and or market manipulation? No. VE, hi. Glad I finally arrived before the live ends. I always have to see it after. I'm wondering, is there a trick for the probable levels of each wave, or is it just your memory and studying? No, it's actually, well, Elliott waves and Fibonacci is basically intertwined, right? Like Elliott waves doesn't really exist too much, like it does without Fibonacci, but even in the book Elliott wave principle, Fibonacci is an important element of Elliott waves. And by studying Elliott waves and by reading the book and the sources, you will be able to know the fib levels. You don't even really need to necessarily go to this website, which I recommend. This is the Linktree. Link is in the description. Ben, ik ben er geen één. Allemaal fake, allemaal scam. Make sure that if you're in Discord, you always check the welcome section and scammer alert. I do not DM you without giving you a message or sending you a message first in the public group and tagging you specifically. Every other Koens is a scammer, immediate ban. So here, this is the Elliott Wave website. So you can see here as well, they have all the targets in the pictures as well, right? I mean, 90% of their pictures and stuff is accurate. I have a few little tweaks and things that I do differently. But this is a great start. So the link tree is in the description, right? I mean, you can find everything here. But if you scroll down, Elliott Wave website, good start. Elliott Wave Guide public playlist. This is my playlist on YouTube, which I recommend checking out. It has even more knowledge than on the website. But if you're very new, it is a beginner's playlist, beginner's guide, but it might go a bit quick because I try to make videos as short as possible with the most amount of information. So it's like, yeah, but nonetheless, just read this once and then later afterwards check this. And then you will have a good idea about targets. So if you study Elliott waves, you know wave C should be quite similar to wave A in a zigzag. And in a multi-zigzag, Y and Z are quite similar to wave W, right? Or Z to Y. In a flat structure, you know that C is an impulse, while A and B are corrective structures. And C, being an impulse, generally is shorter in time than corrective structures. So that's why you would expect wave C to be short. Etc. Right? So if you have a sideways WXY, then in a wave W and wave Y generally are quite equal in time. So it's the studying, and that's where you get in touch with all the targets. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I think whales. Yeah, I mean, whales are very big traders, no? So I guess we believe in wills. That's not a problem. I mean, just people that have very, very big positions or big institutions, but market manipulation, no. Unless you're Luna. Learned a ton from this man. Using Elliott waves and traders realities vector indicator has changed my game. I think we get a pump and dump, and finger crossed we pump till the 2nd of December. Moon phases. Interesting. I have seen moon phases coming by in Telegram and in Discord sometimes. I'm not really too familiar with how it works, but it's interesting to me anyway. I wouldn't use it, but it's funny to see how other people have their TA sorted and what they use. You use fib retracement and extensions to predict where price goes. Yes. And then, of course, as a backbone, I use Elliott waves, because you use the fibs based on what Elliott wave structure you're looking at. Do you Elliott wave the dominance chart? Yeah, I mean, I sometimes take a look. I don't really think I have an active count on it, but if my memory serves me right, the dominance chart was basically doing like this, or a little bit like this. So yeah, from an Elliott wave point of view, you would then be looking for a bit of a retracement, probably a 4, I guess. Well, I don't really analyze it too often. Sometimes I have a look, yeah. Can you believe, so I'll answer this one. Can you believe that sitting, maybe a band-aid, cheers, man. What a guy. I'm from America. What's up, maybe a band-aid? Thanks, dude. Rahul, make sure to fill in the form, which is linked to you in a second, probably by Mr. Maybe a band-aid himself. Cheers, man. Thanks. Can you believe that sitting the whole day on a computer that causes big problems and took me to the orthopedist? Yes, I can actually, because and that's why I like to stand. So whenever I talk, I'm standing. Like I have a standing desk, which is probably the reason why sometimes my webcam is a little bit wiggly, because I lean against the desk or I touch the desk, of course. But no, absolutely. Like sitting the whole day is not healthy. It's proven countless of times, and having a good balance between sitting, standing, good chair, and a good ergonomic position, that sort of stuff. Like, your body is made to move, and sitting 9 hours a day or 10 hours is a bit of a problem. So, yeah. Now, if you're in an office, if you of course work 30 minutes, 1 hour, maybe get a drink, go to the coffee machine, that sort of stuff, like that's actually like, that's good. It's good. Get up, get the blood pumping again from the legs upwards, and get it moving, walk a little bit, and then continue. Yeah. I mean, we spoke about this I used to be a medical student, right? Like studying to be a doctor. And I was in my internships back in the day, and great. I still love medicine, but we actually spoke about this quite often at university, because it's just such a big issue. I think I heard on radio when I was driving in the Netherlands last week that they expect by 2030 that 70% of the Dutch population is overweight. I was like, yo, that ain't good, yo. We're following America's footsteps. That's the wrong direction, yo. Oh. That was my alarm. Right, I should be able to find this. Let me check this. Yeah, Europe in 2030 is gonna get an epidemic of obesity. Oh wait, the goal was longer, not 2030. Sorry for that. So it says this is by the way, this is the government website saying overweight. Is that overweight? Overweight, no. At least being too heavy, will increase all the way till 2050 especially for 1 second here. I'll show it to you guys. It's Dutch, but you know. So it's 2050 here. I don't know. Then radio probably was 2050, so my brain is fried. But 64% in 2050. In 2022, it was 50%. 50%, right, of the people living in the Netherlands are overweight already. And the percentage is going to increase in every age group, but will increase most at 18 to 44. Can you imagine the years that you are most, well, theoretically, right, most healthy, most active, should enjoy life the most, like have the most, like XYZ. Yo, it's already 50%. Yo, fucking concerning, yo. Yeah, not good. Yeah, there was a guy, I'm not sure if he's still watching the channel, by the way, but there was a trader that was actually a diamond member back in the day, and he also developed a calculator. And when I was live on YouTube, he was always walking on his treadmill, which he put underneath his desk. So he had like a standing desk, and he had a treadmill on the ground, like a flat one, and he was walking while working. I'm like, that's smart. I don't have that. I'm just standing, and I'm just, I'm standing on my legs. But yeah, that's more people should implement it. Maybe it's something for the office. Shroud does this too. That's good. Yeah, it's good. Oh, hey, Garados Arctos, welcome, man. Welcome to Diamond. Now that came out of nowhere. Good to have you here. And welcome to the Top Step, man. You have a gold badge, by the way. Oh, there you go. Upgraded to Diamond. So, cheers. Welcome to the team. And Garados, please make sure to again fill in the same link, this one here. But then this time with Diamond, and then Jeroen will get you sorted. Yeah. Walking, running, standing still. Yeah, absolutely, right. It's also very healthy, of course, to just go for a walk early morning. Go outside. Just get up like 10 minutes earlier and go for a short walk around the block. Like it's a very, very good good start of the day. Moon phase indicator on Tradingview. Interesting. Yeah, nothing works every time, unfortunately. Did they put 80 plus ingredients inside your fries at McDonald's also? I don't know. I don't eat at McDonald's. I don't even know when the last time is. But I have seen that video. I think you refer here to a video. I have seen a video. I don't know what account it is, but they are basically checking what's inside your food, or not your food, but just food. And then they check the fries of McDonald's, and then they are able to find the amount of ingredients in McDonald's, and it's insane. Yeah. So I have seen the short. It's like a short or Instagram reel video where I have seen something like this. Yeah. Make America healthy again. Yeah, exactly. I guess the Netherlands as well. No. RS Miller, what's up? How you doing? Okay. Bulk peptide sells semaglutide peptide online for less than 100 a month. I'm not too sure what this means. Bulk peptides sells a semaglutide peptide online for less than $100 a month. Is that like more like a solution? The moon phase work most of it for 15 days. I run the dog in the morning right when I get up, before the sun is up, right before it gets dark. I don't even know. They're poisoning the food. I mean, generally it's known it's at least not healthy, so it's a good start. Yeah, it's a good reason to avoid it. Cheers, maybe a Band-Aid. Peptides. What's up, Legionario? Welcome. Yeah. Yeah, I think, look, I guess that in general, there's many improvements to be made. Not only personal lifestyle, but maybe office work. Maybe there's stuff to improve there as well. Just buildings in general, or yeah. But I think in like even if you do just work at an office and you have a desk set up, right, and you sit the whole day, it is proven by also countless of studies, you'll find them online, that just moving like, or at least 30 minutes of intensity sports a day keeps the doctor away. But yeah, it move, and I guess another thing is of course like the discipline to do it. I guess that's a big one. Yeah. Ahead or change? Robert F. Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy. Ben, what's up? What's up? How you doing, man? Mr. Good afternoon. Before they add water. I'm so clueless. I've studied medicine, but I don't know all all the little things here. So Ozempic. What does it treat here? Oh, Martin, you can't share a link because scammers, if they join your live stream, they tend to link all sorts of things to bait you into scams. So that's the reason why. If you want to link something, it's probably best to tag one of the mods in general chat in Discord and then send the link there. But new large study on standing desk. Device measured stationary behavior and cardiovascular and ortho disease new large device measured stationary behavior and cardiovascular and orthocirculatory disease incidence. I found it. Of course, it's all about balance in general, right? Like if you work at home, of course the danger is that you just sit on your chair at home the whole day, right? And sitting the whole day is not good. Undoubtedly, standing the whole day in one spot is also not good, right? But it's the balance between standing and sitting, moving around, doing sports, preferably intensive sports. So what do we have here? Can we read the whole article? Okay, we can read the abstract. Reject. I'm not interested in all this stuff. Save. Wow, we went from Elliott. So if you just joined and you have no idea, the analysis was done earlier. Device measured stationary behavior and cardiovascular and orthostatic circulatory disease incidence. Quick read here. When was this? December 2024. Wait. Oh, it is yet to be published. Published 16th of October, but it will be, okay, it will be in the journal. Okay, I get it. Abstract, cool. Let's have a short read here. Previous studies have indicated that standing may be beneficially associated with surrogate metabolic markers, whereas more time spent sitting has an adverse association. Okay. Studies assessing the dose response, associations of standing, sitting, and composite stationary behavior time with cardiovascular disease and orthostatic circulatory disease are scarce. Objective: to examine associations of daily sitting, standing, and stationary time with they're using the CVD indicator. Of course, that's sarcasm. In case you don't, you never know. That's not real. But they are using CVD, of course, cardiovascular disease. Method, I'm never really, let's skip this for now. Conclusion, time spent standing was not associated with cardiovascular disease risk, but was associated with higher orthostatic circulatory disease risk. Interesting. Time spent sitting above 10 hours a day was associated with both higher... Okay, so both primarily driven by sitting. Collectively, our findings indicate increasing standing time as a prescription may not lower major CVD risk. May lead to higher... Okay. And now we have a look at the... Okay, so at least they have a good amount, like a good group, you know? They don't have like 10 people. So, okay. 83,000. Biobank. Okay. I actually used to study biomedical sciences, so I had to write this type of stuff and do research. It was fun, but I prefer being a doctor over being a researcher. So eventually I studied medicine, but I have a finished Bachelor of Science because I finished my Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences. 7 years of follow-up, not bad. 12, when stationary time exceeded 12 hours a day. Every additional hour. This is interesting. For every additional hour above 10 hours per day of sitting was associated with a 0.26, right? This is your range, higher risk of having cardiovascular disease or orthostatic circulatory disease. I guess it's orthostatic circulatory disease here. Standing more than 2 hours a day was associated with an 0.11 high risk for every additional 30 min per day. That's probably when you stand like this and don't do anything. That's quite a biggie. 2 hours a day. I'm going to check that. For major CVD, when stationary time exceeded 12 hours a day, risk was an average of 0. Okay. Blood pressure, pulse rate, upright posture. Yeah, of course, if you are standing and you're only standing still, and you're not moving too much. Of course, also the blood from your legs, it needs a bit of a pump, right? Anyway, very interesting, very interesting. So, welcome to Med School with Koen and crew. Cheers, Moeb. Diabetes and obesity. I mean, I would understand it if you want to treat diabetes. You can take stuff like this. With regards to obesity, I mean, of course, in some cases it's clinic, right? It's like your body has a certain issue, right? There's a certain diagnosis which leads to, for example, obesity, right? I also have I'm generally of a strong opinion as well that in most of the cases it's just eating way too much and being fucking lazy. And then I'm like, just do sports instead of trying to go for the quick solutions like putting a balloon in your stomach and all that stuff. It's the discipline of getting up every day, do your walk, do your sports, eat healthy, instead of leaving the Coca-Cola in the supermarket, don't go to McDonald's. Like, few lifestyle changes, I think many people will significantly feel better after a couple of months instead of looking into medication. But it can be a start if people really struggle. It's the same with smoking. You have the plasters and other methods. It can be a start to then hopefully change the lifestyle, because if you take medication but you don't change the lifestyle, as a doctor, in my opinion, you fail. You want to work on the lifestyle and then provide things that lead to change. So it does appear the treadmill traders really have it all figured out. Yes, they do. Yeah, alts have been quite nice. Medical paper reviews with Koons. I know, right? I've no, how many people are still watching here, finding this interesting? 130 people are still watching while we're talking medical stuff. Cool. Are there? By the way, are there any official doctors here? Is anyone here a doc? Just general question. I'm actually curious. Or do you maybe work in the medical field, not necessarily a doctor, but maybe you're a nurse, or you know, I'm interested. I mean, I used to study medicine. My favorite, like if I like, I wanted to be a cardiac surgeon. Cardio surgery, fine, it's amazing, man. I love surgery. I have seen, whenever I had the opportunity, I was in the surgery room, helping out with cardiac surgeries. Yeah. Oh, we do have some people working in the space, though. My mom and dad were in the meds, pharmacist. Ah, that's why you know so much about all the medication. Yo, that's super interesting. Being a pharmacist. Okay. That's it. Okay. So okay, I mean it explains. Ozempic treats diabetes and obesity, and then of course you also know. I got to be honest. During my study, Doug, I found it very difficult to remember all of the like. First of all, of course, you study in blocks, and then per block you study medication for the diseases you cover in that block, right? So if you talk about cardiovascular diseases, you're going to learn more about, treatments and medication, but it's quite difficult to remember all of the different things, right? It's like in the Netherlands we would call it stampen. It's just studying over, writing it down, summary, and just try to get it in your head. And then probably after the test, you kind of like, forget half again, but at least you have a base. Hello from France. Welcome, Obil. Welcome. Harry. Kinesiology. Ah, the study of human body movement. I had a little bit of doubt there. I was thinking about this and something else, but okay. Human body movement. Do you work, Harry? Do you work a lot with ergonomics, like sitting, standing, shoes? Like a physiotherapist, like training movements, mobility, like those type of things. I'm a USA chiropractor. Yo, chiropractor, I find it quite difficult to relax. First of all, that's really cool, Reed. USA chiropractor. It's impressive what they do. And I have seen firsthand how it has helped someone I know very, very well. Because back in the day at high school, that person was thrown a tennis ball, and somehow he tried to dodge it very quick, and then he fell, and he had an issue with his neck for like 6 months or whatever. And the general practitioner, not a bad woman, but she misidentified. She was like, just take rest and it will go away. And then 6 months later, nothing happened, and he started to have headaches and that sort of stuff. And then my mom actually then recommended, like, hey, maybe that person can benefit from going to a chiropractor. So he went, and first time he already noticed at least improvements. Now he went back for months because it was a longer period, but eventually he got rid of everything. As like, yeah, I'm big fan. But I have been there. Like sometimes, you know, if you have like a little like a pain or something's not fully right, but it's quite difficult to relax, right? You're laying there in the most awkward position, and then Reed is the person that's like hanging on your arm or on your back or whatever, and then Reed will be like, just breathe in and just breathe out deeply, and then you're like breathing in, and you know shit's about to happen, and then you breathe out, and then Reed is be like boom, and then right. And then you gotta try to not be tense. It can lead to injury, but it's quite difficult because sometimes it can hurt. I'm gentle. I like to hear that. I like to hear that. I might visit your location if I'm in the US. Now sometimes it's just it's good. Like I can sometimes have a pretty stiff right shoulder. It's identified multiple times, or have tension in certain muscles or the back. And last time I went to a chiropractor was 2 years ago, and it went okay, but I know I can struggle to relax. Ninja speed. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's not like you can be like counting down 5, 4, 3, and then at 3 you're like boom, you go, because it's about the breathing, right? Like you breathe in and you breathe out, and the moment you breathe out, you like do your thing. Of course, that's mainly like I think the bigger cracks maybe with the back. I'm not sure if that's the same with the neck. They pull your head, right? And I'm not sure if breathing there is the same or with your legs or whatnot. But I just remember from what I had to do is I was on my side and in awkward positions, and then they crack your back. Yeah. drreedlerman.com. Anyone living in the US needing a chiropractor? Ah. 1,000. Wow, 1,000 patients. Anyone in the US? If you do go, let me know. Not affiliated, by the way. You never know what people think. This is just someone from the community that has his own business. Where is it based? Contact us. So of course it's in the US. But where are you sitting in the US here? New Jersey. Okay. Welcome, man. Located in New Jersey. Laser therapy or schedule a free consultation possible. Yeah, I mean, again, like I'm a big fan of chiropractic, like medicine. You have an insane amount of experience, by the way. 26 years. Spinal decompression. Laser. I haven't heard about this though. But nice website. I like the website. I think it's a good. Looks good. Oh, interesting. So welcome, Dr. Reed. Dr. Reed is in the house. Have a quick look here. Hoi Koen, mooi update vandaag weer. Dankjewel. Kijken we nu naar 95.5. Chantal, if we are looking for a bit of a bounce in the BRNX, of course, at the moment we're still ranging down here, some more support below at around 90, which is interesting. But for a move to the upside, the previous range value levels will be interesting. And of course, support resistance, 95 is where it would start as a target, yes. Yeah. That would be interesting. So the previous range, of course, you have a bit of a support resistance level here at like basically 96. And then the value area high, low point of control of this range are interesting as well. Any tips for constipation? Not trolling here. I try to drink 3 bottles of water every day. Always gets me in the winter months. Were there some... too much water will flush electrolytes, so top up during the day if you are a heavy water drinker. And ginger, mix them. Okay, ginger, dandelion, camille tea, oil. Yeah, I don't really have too much experience with that, to be honest. I wouldn't really be able to answer your question. Of course, by the way, like just for the sake of, I suppose, YouTube guidelines and whatnot, any of the medical advice shared in chat and on the stream is, of course, not medical advice. I suppose it's the same as nothing is financial advice. Yeah, nothing is medical advice. You know, you got to find yourself a professional. But at least some people may have some experience that can help you out. Only 50% actually do real adjustments. The rest of them do some light manipulation that never really helped me. Yeah, gotta find the good ones now. I'm gentle. Spinal disc. I fell 3 stories. You fell 3 stories onto my back snowboarding in the pro park. I couldn't walk. After I saw a chiropractor up there, I was able to walk immediately. Whoa. Man, take care. Falling 3 stories. That must have been a big boy in the pro park. Happy to hear, though, that the chiropractor was able to make you walk again. Did you jump back on your snowboard a day later, or was it over? I'm actually curious. I had a big drop myself. I'm a snowboarder as well, and I was in the park in Landgraaf for the Dutchies. You know where it is, and they had a big jump, and I took it, but I didn't really have too much experience. I've only done smaller jumps and a bit of practice, so I was smart enough to only jump at the end of the day, just in case it goes wrong, and it did go wrong. So I landed on my back, and my helmet went flying, and my or not my helmet, my glasses went flying. It was a big one, but I never, like, I was a bit a little bit of a headache per se, but nothing was up, so nothing severe. But I didn't expect the compression. The moment, like, you have, of course, much higher speed than a small jump, and the compression I felt on my board was something I didn't expect. So I lost my balance. By the time I went off the jump, I was already like 90 degrees. Like I was already tumbling, so that wasn't great. And then in the air, it's just whatever, hoping that you land a little bit decent. Stompen. Oh, I don't know. I've never. Stompen in the Netherlands is would be something else. Interesting. All tips appreciated. Sea salt is great for exactly that. Eat like 4 bananas. Lost of apples. I like bananas. Yo, Jeroen. Oh, by the way, Jeroen, Edolol is a silver member. He was in chat here, and his YouTube name is also Edolol, so we can get him sorted. What's up, man? I'm honored. We are honored. Welcome. Nice to have you here. Like, so this is the thing. I stream from my little, like, cubicle, which is my office in our apartment here. I mean, it's quite a big office, but a nice place here. And I have no idea who's watching, right? The only thing I see is a number, which currently sits at 114, right? As we are talking about all sorts of other stuff than trading. Numbers go down, of course. But I don't know who's watching. And that's what I find interesting as well. I sometimes get an email from someone and they talk about their story and how Elliott Waves has helped them or the channel and whatnot. And I'm like, holy shit, it's so diverse. And I really enjoy it. So you're a chiropractor. There's many entrepreneurs watching in many different industries. They have their own businesses. People that are juristen, what's that like? They've studied to become a advocate and jury. Come on, what's the English name? Help me out here. Anyway, any background. And I find it fascinating because I can't see what someone does on the other side of the webcam, right? But lawyer, thank you, BVM. But also, I don't care. You can work in marketing in some whatever industry. It's cool. Everyone has their background, but online we all have our identity. And yeah, it's nice to see. So, hey, we have a chiropractor here. The best chiropractor I've ever seen was Dr. Garfinkel in Denver. I think he works near Littleton. Okay. If anyone is close, pay him a visit and then say, Polar Bearman said this. Screenshot the message. Saw a video of a girl hanging from a bar for a time lapse of 5 or 10 min. Spine stretch a good 3 inches. I think I've seen that as well. I used to have a power tower in the back of my room. Like if you go to older videos in the previous place where I lived, hanging is also something that I like to do at the gym sometimes. But I like 3 inches. Not my back at least, but I'm not sure if that's real or edited. I do think hanging is good for your back, right? Relaxing, but extending so far, I don't know. Not sure what's real and fake nowadays. Mr. René Claudius Schumperli from Switzerland, best chiro of all times, Atlas Prophylax. Rest in peace indeed. Mexican food works for a lot of people. Yeah, or spicy. Smoothie I'm making. Yeah, just put it all together. My reckon was it took me 1 week before I got back on my snowboard. I was hitting 65 feet gaps right away. Impressive, man. What a guy. To get on the elliptical rider half mile in now. You're a black diamond? Pixel. I will. 1 second. Black diamond certified. Didn't even know it existed. I learned it all by doing. Cryptopractor. Exactly. Make crypto run again. Okay, it's time. I was going to be here till 4, but I always love chatting to you all. 1 second here. Pixel, what do you think about this 1212? I know the first 2 is really short, but I like the leading diagonal to explain all the overlap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a running flat. And what was the text? First 2 is really short. I like the leading diagonal to explain all the overlap. Of course, in this case, you count your subwaves as 3-wave structures in 1, 3, and 5. So zigzag structures or zigzag family structures. I can imagine at least. Now your B here, I believe, is quite high, moving above the 1.618 Fibonacci of A, which is not common, to say the least. Usually, if you hit the 1.618 for a B, you start to look for other structures. And also a running flat, of course, is rare. This was a diagonal that we had it on the chart back in the day, but it made more sense to count a multi 1-2. Is this a scenario? I mean, yeah, like you say, your ABC is short compared to your diagonal. It's a running flat, which is also rare. Plus B moved above the 1.618. Which is also rare. So, and your 2 is very shallow, by the way. If you take a fib from start of 1 to end of 5, it's very shallow. Preferably after a diagonal, you get a deep retracement. That's most common, right? So you have a diagonal leading, or, well, I mean, if you have an ending diagonal, you're going to take the low anyway. But with a leading diagonal, you preferably look for a deep corrective structure, most commonly a zigzag structure after a diagonal, sharp and quick. And of course, duration, it's relatively short. So is it possible? Of course, it always is. But from a probabilities perspective, there's nothing that would significantly invalidate this. It's just that from a Elliott wave point of view with other scenarios in mind, it would not have the highest probabilities. Yeah. You have the other point of control. Yeah. Oops. So I pulled this. Let's see. This is the 1 hour chart. I think I pulled it on a 4 hour, but I think it's this one here. 11th of November. This is Central European time, right? 11th of November, 9 p.m. till basically when we exited this range here, like 20th of November in the morning, like over here. I like your point of control is this one here. So if you pull it just a little bit later, like this, for example, then your point of control is up here, which is my value area high. Doge will hit $1. Curious to see. Pleasure, Pixel. Yeah. Time to continue though with the day. Still have some other stuff planned as well. Now I will plan a altcoin stream. We can do that tomorrow. Let me have a quick. My phone is dead. Yeah, I think tomorrow I have a meeting, but I think tomorrow we can do an alt stream or Thursday. It's going to be either or, but I'll keep you up to date. And I'll plan it as well. So we're going to focus on alts. I will do then Bitcoin in the beginning of the stream, but the rest is just going to be alts all the way. So it's less chatting, more analyzing. Odin, if you're still here, I'll have a look at what you asked. But yeah, altcoin stream probably tomorrow. Yeah, so let's see. Let's see what price is going to give us. I don't really expect too much change. So I think tonight I'm also in my plan working on some other stuff. I also got to say, doing two pieces of content a day is actually quite nice, as it in the evening gives me more time to work on other related things in the background, while the chart generally doesn't really change too much, right? If you have 3 updates a day, it's the last update is always the one where I'm like, yeah, what am I going to talk about? It's not always something too relevant. If price does crazy stuff, then it's relevant. But most of the case is, you have your morning update, you have a afternoon live stream, and you pretty much cover everything. And then the next day we'll see. So yeah, probably a new update tomorrow morning. So yeah. Also, by the way, Harry, welcome to the crypto industry. Be safe. Be safe. It is a scam-heavy industry, as scammers in the comment section or people that try to add you on platforms try to sell you all sorts of stuff or whatever. Don't fall for it, right? Stay safe. Okay, cheers, everyone. Cheese, welcome, and also thanks for dropping a message at the end. I will see you again tomorrow during the live stream that we have. We're going to focus on some more alts as well. Should be interesting, see what's out there. But for now, thanks for hanging out and all the medical talk as well. And I will put the timestamps in the live stream VOD. So cheers. See you at the next one.